Ice fills the coolers, then salt.
These are Harris Creek, so they're from Maryland.
Then each container is filled at Sailor Oyster Bar in Annapolis. If you grew up near the bay or lived here a long time, chances are you know how to pick a crab, but can you shuck an oyster? If not, we have 5 pretty simple steps to help make you a pro at home.
Oh, that was a nice pop.
Rifko Mayer, the owner of Oysters XO, partnered up recently with Oyster Recovery Partnership for a virtual How to Shuck an Oyster at Home. It's timely. More farmers are selling directly to consumers through the pandemic. But before he hit computer screens, Mayer showed us the Maryland Starter Kit and how to use it.
So first we take the towel. We unfold it, and you fold it in half, and one more time in half. And you put it on your non-dominant hand.
This knife comes in the kit that you can order anytime online.
Thumb on top, index on the bottom.
Allison Albert Gercio, the marketing manager for Oyster Recovery Partnership, is a great student because she hasn't shucked while following Mayer's 5 steps. After you put the oyster in the palm of your hands and wrap your fingers around it, step 1 is making a lollipop.
This is a lollipop. Putting the point of the knife into the hinge, pulling your oyster hand towards yourself and pushing your oyster knife away from yourself. No, don't use too much strength, and go a little bit left and right. You do that as long until you have a lollipop.
And then you crack the hinge.
And you turn the knife like a key in a lock, left and right. So you turn left and you turn right.
Third step, cut the top muscle.
Going in, feel the muscle, windshield to the right.
It came right up.
Oh, perfect.
Then cut the bottom muscle.
And we only have to go in underneath the oyster. So again, underneath, so that we don't cut the oyster itself. And we kind of like scoop like ice cream.
Mayer says the easiest step comes last.
Giving the oyster a little push from the hinge.
So it was really easy. Once you get that knife in there and make the lollipop, I feel like that's the hardest part.
So for me, important is that everybody learns how to shuck an oyster. It is not just delicious, it is fun.
This show was on screen for people to watch the first sip and shuck off, a little friendly competition, and then learning how to shuck.
The bottom muscle, like so.
ORP partners with about 350 restaurants to collect the shells for restoration.
After we serve the oysters, we serve them on the half shell. We take all the shells. So the oyster shucker has a bucket right at the end of his station, and then at the end of the night, we take them out back. We have big casing bins, put the oysters in.
And then our partners at Horn Point Laboratory, they breed the baby oyster larva, and they pour the larva on top of all that shell. It sits for about 10 days, and then we have spat on shell.
That circle of life takes us right back to what we enjoy, and it's even more fun when you take the shucking into your own hands.
Every oyster you eat gives you love, life, and happiness.
Here's to shucking and slurping. For Chesapeake Bay Media's Bay Bulletin, I'm Cheryl Costello.